Yo, 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 what's going on? This is the NRW, where nerds rule the world. It's your boy, Kuya P, and we are again on the road to Exxxotica DC 2022. We've had some fine guests on our way. We've had John Legendary, we've had Sky Blue, we've had Jessica Starling, Bloomer Yang, aka Oliver Wong. I just recorded a great interview with Stephanie Ild, and right now, the person that put all that together is about to come on. She's from the Rub PR, the homie Erika Icon. You're about to see her on the screen right now. There she is. Everyone's going off right now, Erika. You're not going to hear it because they're going to be a post, because I didn't want to deafen you. We celebrate everybody that comes through. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
Always, always. And again, you are just everything, because we wouldn't have had those guests if not for you. So thank you for all your work. And also, let's shout you out. What did we just get, Erika? You got the, where's my notes? Oh my gosh,
best PR firm and adult from the ASN Lifestyle Magazine award.
There we go. Let's go. I'm shooting off air horns again. Air horns are back. Let them play out. Congrats.
Thank you.
Well deserved.
It wasn't a real award show. It was like online, but my trophy should be here soon. So I'm excited.
See, you're one of those friends that I if you were here next to me, like, don't downplay yourself. You put in the work.
No, I'm not downplaying it. I'm just saying it wasn't like, thank God I didn't have to accept it, because I was in the car watching it and driving, and then I started crying when I won.
Well deserved.
Thank you.
Being on the other side, seeing the work and receiving the work, and again, because you helped made these connections happen. Well deserved. Bravo. So let's talk about how you got into this crazy world. We talked a little bit before we got started. So maybe a Cliff Notes version for those that are checking us out. As you know, and as we've talked, I've been a filmmaker. This is more of a pop culture channel, but as of late and after last year, after our first Exxxotica DC experience, we here at NRW just, we meet so many kind of different people. We're nerds. We're our banner is nerds. But as you can maybe see how I am and how I conduct myself, I'm not your quote unquote traditional nerd. And that's what we're all about. It's about changing those stereotypes, breaking down those stigmas. And when we went out to Exxxotica DC last year, just everybody that I met, and I've known people in the adult industry for some time, but just the most authentic people, the most realist people. And I just love that. And for you, what has that been like for you? And if you could tell me your journey of just, to me, it's like any other business, right?
No.
Okay, let's go. I love how Erika's so real.
No. So, I had regular jobs. I had a lot of jobs before I came into adult. I did advertising as an art director and a copywriter for 6 years, and it sucked the life out of me. So I answered an ad on Craigslist for this company that was a Netflix of porn, and they hired me. I will tell you, this is actually hilarious. They hired me over the other girl because my boobs were bigger. I forgot about this. And I went to UCLA, so I had two things going for me, apparently. Anyways, so yeah, that's how I got my start, was as a DVD buyer and a movie reviewer, helping them run the company. And then I got into PR on a consultant basis, and I worked for a studio and had my own company for 13 years. I've been an adult for about 16.
Okay. But so just because of the taboo nature of it, so for you, it was, were there never any aspirations? It was just something you found yourself in, or were you a fan of the content?
Oh yeah, I used to watch a lot of porn, but not now, since I know everybody. It's a little creepy, but sadly,
I can understand that.
I watch a lot of it. I reviewed 300 movies when I worked at Wanted List. That should have been enough for my lifetime, right? What I like about the industry is this, like, if you have piercings and tattoos like I do, no one cares. If you're not, if you're kind of, don't fit in the real world, this world you fit in, because everybody's sort of like the island of misfit toys, right? Like, we're all a little different. We end up here, and it's kind of where we belong,
I feel you. I'm completely with that. And there's also some, I guess, like, safety in a way, or just like because the world is so terrible. But I'm also like, the proponent of trying to like get everybody to love each other, and I'm sure that's but then there's safety when you can get away from the evil. So is that kind of like what you're saying? So you like kind of like it being a reserved world?
I mean, I just, I like the people in the industry. Most of them are, like you said, very real. It's a very different world than the real world. And it's funny. I'll be out, and I don't like to tell people what I do, because women are very judgmental, and men think you're like, in movies, a whore, or everyone, and they want to ask you who you know.
I feel that.
But yeah, I just usually tell people I'm a publicist and I just work in entertainment. I kind of keep it on the the DL usually. But no, I just I don't know. I just feel like I fit in. I always feel like I don't. Most of the jobs I had, I didn't fit in, like in the corporate world and stuff. It just wasn't me. With the tattoos and the piercings and the everything else.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Now you got. I think there's a very real concept that I'm on like the in between, I guess, if you will, while you've been in those trenches and all that, and it's just terrible that there's those social stigmas. I can understand, and as a woman out there, because again, like you said, then you're either this or you're that, or you're former or whatever. Like they'll just make these preconceived notions and not treat you respectfully.
Well, the one good thing about the adult industry, though, is it's the only other industry besides nursing where women pretty much rule the school. Women get paid more for the scenes. There's a lot of women executives. It's that nursing's like that as well. But that's another thing that's really cool about it is you're not less than because you're a girl. Like Definitely. A lot of other industries are.
Yeah.
So that's really cool too.
So, what would you say then are some of the biggest lessons you've learned along the way? I've been asking this of everybody, for both the performers, like with Bloomer as a filmmaker in there, that you would give to people that aspire or want to get into this industry. What maybe warning signs or just some of your biggest lessons you've learned?
Well, if you want to be a performer and you want to get in the industry, you need to really make sure you want to do it, because once you do it, it's there forever, whether it's on OnlyFans or it's for a studio or it's on mini-vids, it's there forever. For me, learning, so many things I've learned. Geez, since been in it a while. Probably go with your gut. If I am a little leery to take someone on as a client, there's usually a reason. To always listen to the gut. Most of the people I take on are great. I only take on people I can help and people I like and people I want to work with. I don't need to work with everyone now. So, I just need to go with the gut, because when I don't, it's, it could be a nightmare client. It could be a client that yells. It could be, anything.
Yeah.
But 99% of our clients that we have right now are awesome. So, and everybody has bad days, but, we don't have any raging lunatics, thankfully.
That's so true. So in regards to that regard, in regards to what you do by, being the PR agent for these clients, how important would you say that role is? I think it's very important.
I think
in increasing their visibility.
I think a lot of people don't understand what a publicist does. So maybe I should kind of lay that out a little bit.
Yeah.
We're not an agent. We don't book them work, although I do get people mainstream work sometimes. We're not a manager, although we do some managerial things. So my job is basically to make people famous, to get their name out there, like press releases, interviews, magazines, toys. We've gotten a lot of people toy deals, signing at trade shows, NFT deals, ambassador gigs, like all those kinds of things. So any way we could get your name out there, that's what we do. And we do get a lot of mainstream press as well. I have two girls that just did an interview for BBC in England, not the other BBC. Important BBC, something different, right?
Totally different.
I always laugh when I say that and ATM. Anyways,
I love
how
that.
warped I am after working in this industry. I'm still warped. but we just got on Elon Musk and Twitter, and then we just got another one for BuzzFeed. So we do get people mainstream, but a lot of stuff we get is people that mainly work with porn people, of podcasts and different interviews. But yeah, I think it's important, if you're very serious about your career, to get a publicist, and to get a good publicist. There's only a few of us actually that are good. A lot of them are like fanboys that are just, trying to get with the girls or whatever. Like, I'm not trying to have sex with my clients. I'm here to help. Like, it's not, and I have some good looking guys, but not here to sleep with them. So, yeah, if you're serious and you need to stand out, there's hundreds of girls, well, mainly a lot of girls, that enter the industry every month. So you want to stand out, and the average shelf life of a porn girl is like 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
So, if you really want to stay in it and you want to do well and you want to get your name out there, we get people nominated for lots of things and winning things. So that's really important too, because agents don't focus on that. They focus on getting you work. So, you need someone like me or some of the other people that are good in the industry, to help you out with that. And a lot of people don't know how to go about it. They don't know how to write a press release. They don't know how to even run their social media. We help people with that too. Like, we, advise them. With companies, we help them run it, but with the performers, we don't. But we give them tips. We look at what they're doing. We try to keep them from saying things they shouldn't.
So what are some of the biggest things you've come across, or like suggestions that, like, what do you think are like the top 3 things that artists, your clients that are you're promoting, that you recommend off the top that they need to get better at, and or do this? Like, what about shows and conventions? Since we are promoting Exxxotica.
Shows and conventions are important, because that's where you meet your fans, and you make new fans. Those new fans hit up the studios and they're like, oh, I want to see, like, say, one of my girls, Ariette Adams, like, oh, I met her at Exxxotica Miami. Like, I really want to see her in more of, the dog fart movies or the browsers movies or whatever, and then they tell their friends, and also, you get some diehard fans that have never met you before and really want to, and it's a controlled environment. So usually people behave, not always, but generally. So shows are important. Social media is really important. Like, actually taking the time every day to do social media, whether you're using scheduling or you're actually on there. Mainly Twitter and Instagram. A lot of people use Reddit. I don't, but Reddit is a good one too. But I carve out time every day, to post press releases on social media, as in Twitter and Instagram too. You see it, sometimes on Facebook, but, social media is really important. Trade shows are really important. Really interacting with your fans as much as possible. And social media is great for that, and being nice to them too, being positive on social media, that kind of stuff. It's really important. Press releases, we write those are great too, to get your name out there. But, they really need to focus on being professional and getting to set, doing a great job.
Yeah.
I have one girl, she's great, Jupiter Jetson. I don't know if you've interviewed her yet, but she writes down everybody's names and she meets on set, on each set. Because I'll ask her, do you know if this person works for the studio? Because I have some girls who don't have agents, and they'll be like, is this person legit? So I'm like, oh, you work for, so-and-so. Just, do you know who this person is? And she, oh, yeah, they were on set with me. So I was really impressed she did that. Like, that's something I never even thought of, but people like it when you remember them.
Oh, yeah.
And you're professional, and she does a great job on set. She's a pretty girl, she's very personable. So those kinds of things go really far, but you have to really come into it and treat it like a business. It's completely not a giant party. Although there are parties and they're pretty good, but
definitely agree to that. That's I recently had on, Stephanie, and when I was talking about her, she is all about her business, and finding out other hustles to just continue. That's how we have longevity in this industry, and how you can keep that income flow coming in, because you never know what's going to work. They might demonetize you, like she went through a ton of struggles with YouTube, which something that I wanted to highlight that conversation. So in that regard, conversation with you having been in the industry for so long, in regards to, with your current work with the Rub PR is and the other adult work that you did with writing and all those reviews.
I still write. I write for Hustler and ASN Magazine and Dark Side.
How has social media kind of changed the landscape? Because it kind of like really, would you say it kind of like really blew up now with like the OnlyFans and all that, than in like maybe the past 4 to 5 years,
there's a difference between social media and premium social media. So like OnlyFans, premium social media.
Yeah.
And I think, like I had one girl, she lost her, this is funny. She lost her Twitter account because she kind of had sex with a teddy bear, like she was rubbing up against it. I guess they took away her account. And it's a studio she was working for. I'm still laughing about this. Anyway, so she said, I see a huge dip in my OnlyFans. I've got to get my Twitter back. I've got to get it back, and Instagram too. A lot of people are losing their accounts. But when I started in the industry, social media really wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had my Twitter account, I think, for 11 years. So I've been in, I've had my own company for 13. And Instagram, I've only had maybe the last couple of years, and I have about 73,000 on both. But I spend time on it, and I look at what people are doing and sorry, my dog is whining. She wants to be famous too. Everyone says she should have her own Instagram. I'm like, when she can run it herself, she can have one. I'm too busy to run her damn Instagram. Although Nikki Delano's dog has an Instagram. Benzo has his own Instagram. Go follow him. He has adventures with Nikki. And then Erika has Busan, her little talking pig he's stuffed. Anyways, sorry.
No worries. I love it. Just how like this, it's kind of changed the landscape in a way.
Oh yeah, it's totally changed. Now it's like a requirement. And if you think about somebody like Tara Patrick, who's really old school porn, right? I work with her sometimes and friends with her. That kind of stuff wasn't around when she came in. And she still was able to be a household name. But back then they had magazines. We don't have as many adult magazines. We used to have the guy that actually runs Exxxotica, Dan, he used to be the editor for all those magazines. That's how I know him. But they don't have all that anymore. Like she was on Playboy and Hustler in the same month when she started. So back then they didn't need social media because they had magazines and the girls went to trade shows and they had more signings in adult stores. There's not as much of that now.
So would you say the ladies and male and female performers have to be up to speed and know what they're doing in handling and properly selling themselves and being careful with what they say, like you said, on these platforms?
Well, yes, because they need to stay with their brand. But what people don't understand is like everybody, they have their political or religious beliefs or their whatever makes them up, right? But the fans don't care about that stuff. They just want to see you naked. You're their escape, and I tell the girls and the guys that, and the trans girls I work with, because that you're their escape. So they don't care. Like, I mean, honestly, even they probably don't care what like Oprah Winfrey thinks or Will Smith or anybody who's famous. They just want you, you're their escape. And I always tell them, be positive on social media. Don't get into fights. Don't talk about drugs beyond weed. I mean, weed used to be a thing you couldn't even talk about.
Yeah.
You'd get banned from working with studios and directors smoking weed. I had one girl, she went out. She doesn't drink. She doesn't do drugs. She's totally into fitness. I've worked with her a very long time. She was supposed to film for Brazzers. They saw on Twitter she was out with her friends, and they're like, if she doesn't go home right now, she can't come to set tomorrow. And that was probably about 7 years ago, maybe.
Oh, wow.
So it's changed. That's changed a lot too. But the directors and the producers and the studios, they're looking at what you're doing on social media. They can't see your OnlyFans, but they're looking at what you're doing on Twitter and Instagram. And if you're, not conducting yourself properly, and I say something to them. I'm not as much of a hard ass as I used to be about it, but they used to worry they'd get the phone call or the text.
Yeah.
And they like to tell on each other. It's kind of hilarious. But yeah, I kind of, and I proofread all their interviews to make sure they're not saying things they shouldn't and the grammar's correct and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think, It's important to be nice to your fans. It's important to be nice, you know, and if people are horrible, you can block and mute them. Those are like the greatest things, block and mute.
Very true. Very true. Let's talk about like getting muted in a way. Like we I think we said earlier, you know, with like Stephanie, who's amazing, YouTube, killing it on YouTube, but then all of a sudden, because of her type of content, when it's outrageous, because there's other people that have very similar content, they get the plaque. Like she should have gotten, you know, I forgot, X amount of subscribers, you get a plaque is what they do, right? And they didn't give it to her. And then now, like currently, as of this recording, you know, Twitter, because of the madness happening right now with the Elon Musk and the buyout, a lot of people are leaving Twitter. How has that been with you as with PR? A lot of people are leaving Twitter. Like today I just set up a Hive account because that's where we're all escaping from Twitter right now. So I was like, okay, I need to set up a Hive account.
I don't think Twitter's going anywhere. I think that people are spreading mass pandemonium and we just need to see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
The thing is like the one good thing about Elon, there's two good things about him. First of all, he questions fake accounts because there's so many of them every day. Want more followers on OnlyFans? No, I want to block you because you are writing off my tweet and my client's name. You are getting a block. So he knows there's a lot of fake accounts. And I think, you know, it's important to, even though we may not like the voices of certain people that he's allowing back on, it's important that people can be on a platform because, you know, one day it's Trump, the next day it could be a porn girl, you know, like, you know, we never know who's going to get censored. So, that's you know, you don't like Trump, don't follow him. I don't follow him. I won't follow him. So, you know, there's some porn girls to follow, but yeah, I think, you know, he understands that it needs, you know, that it needs to be, you know, different voices. But I think people are panicking and they don't know what's going to happen. Like the other day, they're like, this is the last day of Twitter. I'm like, what? I told my assistant, this is like Y2K, the computers.
I'll still be here until the wheels fall off, but I will be making, you know, but still looking out for other ways to communicate with fans. And so I was curious from your perspective and from with the work you do with supporting your clients, if there's been any like, oh no, we got to find another platform, and you know,
no, they haven't said anything to me. I mean, I see some people saying stuff, but I don't think Twitter's going anywhere. I think Instagram has been hard because it's owned by Facebook, and they don't like us. You know, I had one. It
reminds me of Sky Blue. In her,
she's had problems, but Marika Hassa, she is a Penthouse Pet. I've worked with her for quite a while, and she doesn't post anything. She's lost 3 accounts, and she was actually verified. I had a girl, she would post pictures of her cats. I was on a panel, and I'm like, yeah, I guess, you know, she posts pictures of a cat. She lost her account. I'm like, wow, I guess you can't post any kind of pussies on Instagram. Apparently, cats too. You know, but it sucks because you see someone like Kim Kardashian pretty much fucking naked, you know, and you're like, wow, that's a double-edged sword, you know, and she's a porn star. Yes, she's a porn that her mother took to Vivid. That was a very bad porn. I did watch that. I watched all the celebrity ones, and the Pam and Tommy Lee one's the best. But and that was a good documentary too. Or a little show they did on Hulu. But yeah, I mean, you know, Instagram's hard, and it's hard to get our account back, you know, unless you want to pay thousands of dollars. So, you know, I tell them ways to keep their account, and on hashtags not to use, things not to do, you know, and they're constantly changing what the rules are. But I think, you know, Twitter will be here. Obviously, you know, there's always going to be a new platform, you know, always new something, right? And I'll check out the Hive. I'm not on that yet, but I guess I should claim my my rep PR.
Exactly. That's why I was rushing in to do that. But yeah, I can only imagine how, you know, I know how busy you are. You and I've been in contact, and again, you've been so gracious in helping me feature your clients. But just how difficult it is with just how censorship is and social media, and just how this new world is becoming in certain respects. Like what is your outlook and maybe some of the things you're doing to maneuver as we go forward, and now, you know, we're at the end of the year, we're heading into 2023. What are some big plans for the Rub PR and your work, Erika?
Well, I'm hoping this might be the year I get into the AVN Hall of Fame.
Let's go. Let's put it into the atmosphere. Vibes.
The invisible Hall of Fame, like Wonder Woman's jet. I had some good people recommend me, so I'm hoping. We just keep working. I mean, we'd like to have more companies. We only have a few companies right now. We have a lot of performers. Just keep doing what we're doing, keeping the clients happy, getting them interviews, keeping their name out there. We're actually full right now. I have a waiting list.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Business is good.
We have a lot of clients. XBiz was a little bit blown away when I sent them the list of people that will be at X3. He's like, whoa. I was like, yeah, that's not even everyone. But, I'm hoping, maybe delve a little bit more into the mainstream, get clients more mainstream work, because that's something we haven't done in the last couple of years. I'm also hoping to write more articles for Hustler. I just haven't had time.
Okay.
So I'd really like that. But yeah, just, keep going, keep keeping everybody happy and bringing money in and just working. I mean, I don't know. All I do is work.
So personal goals for you is actually to do more creative work for yourself, like you said, writing for Hustler outside, because obviously business is the business is managing it itself in a way, right? So I would assume you're probably bringing on more people on the team to help you, so that you can write and do these other things, right?
Yeah, I have an assistant and I have an intern, and then you heard the mascot whining.
No worries.
She's not the center of attention right now.
Yeah, my dogs are upstairs because I have one will always be whining. Shout out to Lily.
Bosco better be quiet or she's going to be in for it later. Yeah, she has a hashtag. She's the real Bosco. Anyways, not to be confused with other things. But yeah, I'm just kind of keep on keeping on. I'm hoping, we have more people winning awards and getting nominated for awards. We have a lot of people. I didn't do a count for AVN and XBiz nominations, but a ton. Right now we're pushing the fan voting, trying to find places for people to sign at AVN, making sure people have their booth at X3, all that kind of stuff. So it's a very busy time of year. September, we're submitting all the AVN and XBiz pre-noms. It's a lot of work. Yeah. So September through like middle of January is very busy. So just, trying to keep everybody happy and do the best job we can.
Gotcha. Well, I'm sure you're gonna kill it and again, that ASN award is fitting because of all the hard work you do. You're gonna kill it with Rub PR. So now I'm kind of half curious, but before we, to get down to some final questions real quick, is so again, you want to write I'm curious what you, Erika, because like you said, you want to write again more for Hustler a little bit, like, and you have that film background like myself. Is it just you're wanting to write reviews or content creatively, articles, or like do you want to also maybe write other projects, like expanding, since you've been so tied to the film industry for so long? Do you have any creative desires outside of that, or no? I paint skateboards and things that color me mine on the weekends. I'm using my art degree to the fullest, to kind of unwind. But when I write for Hustler, I write articles. I've only written one, and it was a first trip to a dominatrix, and it featured my clients at the time, Julie Simone and Larkin Love, and it was cool. I had to get together all the paperwork, 2257, the photos, write the article, rewrite the article. So I'd like to, do more for that. I like writing things that are not press releases. I feel that. It's a whole, and feature pieces like that, like you said, are so much they're rewarding, and you can like share it with those folks that you're doing it with as well to help them. It's a totally night and day from, I'm sure, the press release arena.
Yeah, press releases, I just wrote 25 of them yesterday for the XBiz nominations. It's like, how many different ways can you say someone's nominated, but yeah. I'm the queen of the thesaurus, so
I feel that. Well, again, your hard work is seen from me on the other side, so thank you. Again, I think all the awards are well deserved. And as you stated, Rub PR is blowing up. There's too much work. I think is really what the deal is. But it's again, because through the hard work that you're doing. It shows. So I just, as a friend and outsider, I hope that you can just find solace and happiness, exercise some self-care, get that writing time in with Hustler when you can. But yeah, I'm an empath. I love people doing what they enjoy. And again, it's about changing the paradigm over here and changing social stigmas. And yeah, we're going to do that hard work.
I'm an empath too.
I love it.
It's a hard row, my friend. It's a hard row.
That's why we got to stay positive and also have a good therapist. That's the key for me. I have a good therapist.
I'm a Buddhist. I chant. That's what helps me. So
there we go.
I'm a Nichiren Buddhist. So that's what keeps me sane, especially when little dogs start whining during interviews.
Not a problem.
Miss Bosco.
All right. Erika, again, you are the best. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for the future work I know I'm going to get from you and the amazing people that you bring through as your clients. Again, knowing that you want to do more writing work, I want that for you. I'm going to have all the links in the description below, y'all, for Erika. So make sure you follow her. And if you want to network and work with her and speak with her amazing clients, you can do that. Erika, because I am Nerds Rule the World. And we talk about nerdy things. One of the last questions I leave out with everybody is, if you were to give a nerd TED style talk on anything, what are you most nerdy about right now that people don't really know? Obviously, you're super busy. We know this. But my
web guy gets a chuckle out of the fact that I like Billy Joel. I have a Billy Joel tattoo. I went to see him in Vegas. I don't know. He thinks I'm a nerd about that. I don't know. I grew up with Billy Joel from New York. I love Billy Joel.
I love Billy Joel.
I was always a nerd growing up. I don't know. I was trying to be cool now. I try so hard to be cool.
Listen,
no Harry Potter.
Hey, no. And again, when I ask that question, I preface it doesn't just have to be like the quote unquote pop culture stuff. I love that you said Billy Joel, because one of my very first tapes as a kid was The Piano Man, was Billy Joel. And a lot of people think, because I'm a big hip hop guy. I love hip hop. I love R&B, but I grew up on Billy Joel, and I would play that tape out. Again, it was one of my first tapes, and a huge fan of Billy Joel. So
you should go see him. I went all the way to Vegas.
I want to.
In LA. It was an amazing show. He's like 70, but he still kills it. And I didn't want to go to Madison Square Garden, even though I'm from New York, to go see him. So I guess he's coming to LA soon too. So I would have waited had I known that.
Yeah, right. It's always the case with schedules and time and things happening.
Exactly. But yeah, no, I love Billy Joel and Billy Joel tattoo. And
okay.
Love Billy Joel.
I love it. All right, so
Billy Joel channel on Sirius when they have it.
All right, y'all. So Erika can talk all things Billy Joel. Again, pick out
and porn.
And porn. Definitely. And there's nothing wrong with that. And all those evil people out there that, just continues on. I can't wait for y'all to die out. That's all I got to say. Because that's how it's going to change, because they're not going to listen. Anyway, Erika Icon, the Rub PR. Thank you so much, everybody. All her links are in my description below. I am Kuya P. This is Nerds Rule the World on the road to Exxxotica DC 2022. Say hello when we're there. Can't wait to meet you.